Welcome to Monstercat Talk episode 15. Still going strong with the weekly releases. And uh,
It's
we're
still
here.
March, right?
Yeah, it's still March. Can't wait to do episode 13. Yeah, so this is our Instinct Volume 1 4-part special. 10 songs per episode, I guess. And yeah, I'm your avian host and future mix contest 17th placer, Red Hawk. Alongside me, we've got my amphibious co-host and corn connoisseur, Gabe.
Welcome to reviewing Monstercat. There's too many songs on this album, Volume 1.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess that Volume 2 will also have a lot of songs on it. And it's too many songs.
Volume 2 going for 80.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm ready for that 160 song album for Volume 3.
As you heard just now, our other co-host, we got our Mammalian Instinct special co-host, and definitely not a weeb, it's WackyBull.
Yeah. Definitely not a weeb.
You've got a bull, a frog,
You got that
bird.
right. You got that right. Ooh.
What? Well, at least you don't have the anime girl from last night as your profile picture. I don't know what
Alright,
this is.
look what I'm changing. Real
Alright.
quick.
Alright.
At least you don't think you don't know. Man, I've got a folder on tap.
Do you actually?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'd like to request someone in the comments could give me a timestamp for when the memeing started exactly. So, I know.
Well, like 1 minute in.
Yep,
Yeah, pretty much.
probably. I need that
Alright.
exact timestamp though.
Okay.
Alright, well, we will. Do y'all want to just hop into it, or do y'all want to mute for 3 minutes, or what's the...
No, we can
Let's
go right into it now.
Alright.
Emphasis on the talk on the podcast.
Yeah, you're right. So we're gonna go in chronological order as always. So the first song I got here released, as of recording this, it was released I think over 6 months ago. We got Dynamo by Puppet. That's all I got.
Oh, okay.
Gabe, you can start us off with this one.
Alright, so I know that way back on Uncaged, I think it was Uncaged Volume 3 that Bigger Picture was on, correct?
Yes.
Alright, I know I put that at 29, which probably still be at 29, maybe 28. Dynamo wasn't that different from Bigger Picture. I kind of like it a little more because the instrumental is a lot less overpowering. But that's really all I can give it. I'm really trying to give this thing some positives because I don't have much to say about this song. It's basically the exact same as Bigger Picture in my opinion. And looks like Puppet's doing that good old let's make the same song 3 times.
Okay, alright. Okay. I hate that. I hate it when people say that. Because it's not true.
I mean, I'll give it that Soft Spoken had like variety in it.
What, you know how-
Vagabond exists. I think Soft Spoken itself sounds a lot like Scribble with not the same vocals.
Oh, I'm gonna breathe.
All right. Well, Gid, I'll actually take your side with this song. Sorry, Gabe. The finishing thoughts.
3.5 out of 10. Yeah, 3.5
Alright.
out of 10.
I actually think this song sounds a bit different from the other. It hits because when this song first came out, I just wasn't into it. If this came out like a month before IV1 and not 6 months before, which is fucking ridiculous, it would have been like easily bottom 3, I think. But I've come around to it a little bit. I can't really put my like finger on it. It almost sounds like detuned and just like weirdly, like the melodies just feel like they're off, which is what really took away from my enjoyment at first. But Now I've actually come around to it for that same reason, because like it feels a lot more raw than Puppet's. Like Puppet's other songs, he's going for this like rebellious, like, whoa, I'm Puppet and I'm all punk and emo and shit. Like he goes for that sort of like feel, but his songs don't always reflect that. They always feel very manufactured to me. But Dynamo's one where I think he nails it. And if I was into this style of music more, it would be like a total hit with me. But as it is, I still give it a 6 out of 10. I still enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna start with this before I talk about the song. I can understand not liking Puppet. That's like, okay, that's not liking an artist. That's totally understandable. But like saying all his songs sound the same is something I thought we grew past as a species. Like, okay, all right. If your entire criteria is okay, like each song has the little like the bleep bloop kind of sound, like, you know, and some of them don't even have it actually. Like, you know the lead I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And only about like, I would say like 2/3 of his songs actually have that. Like that's about the same as saying that all the San Holo songs sound the same because they have the swirl in there.
Right.
There's so many very severe stylistic changes throughout his discography.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially with this one, which is a very noticeable shift towards more of like a punk rock infused style. Like talking about Dynamo now, like with the specific, he has a very the real grunge effect he has on the guitar in the beginning. He puts a lot of fuzz on that thing. Like my dad on his on my pedal board for my dad's pedal board for his guitar. I think I know which pedal he would use to get that effect. But I really love that sort of stuff. And the first verse, the vocals are really good. It's got a little bit of a weird structure as the song goes. But man,
yeah,
I generally really like Puppet, and I think this whole like EP that he released was it was a real definite shift in his style.
Yeah.
I think this song's good. You can go, Gabe.
Yeah, I was gonna add on to that. I wasn't necessarily saying that all of his songs sound the same, 'cause, like 80% of his discography is like varied. It's just there's certain times where he did have songs that sound the same. Like that's why I said he's going back to that thing, because like I felt like a lot of his like houseier tracks ended up having this similar sound because he always gave it this, I guess, charm to it. And it wasn't a bad thing, because I still enjoyed some of those tracks. And, of course, he's made songs like Vagabond and To Be Alive and all those others that I still enjoy, and I think they sound a lot different than what he normally makes. It's just the problem that I have with his more recent stuff is that it ends up kind of sounding like similar, and I always get them mixed up in my head and stuff. It's not necessarily that like they're the exact same thing. It's just you've got a lot of similarities going on.
That's fair.
I guess
wouldn't say that's a Puppet thing, though.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, Green Day made another rock song. Oh, they really need to branch out.
Like Haywire made another song with keyboards. Oh shit! Everybody roast him. No, I think Puppet gets it more than everybody else because his style isn't a traditional EDM sound, whereas 90% of the artists on Monstercat, other than like Puppet, Grabbits, Steven, Tristram lately, like pretty much everybody else has a traditional EDM sound.
I heard a name in there that made me shudder for a second.
Oh, sorry.
I think like
Alright.
I don't know. I think it's something weird with EDM where like it's almost like every third song has to be completely different, or it's like, oh man, oh my gosh, they're all the same.
It's like the big room era. Where,
like, oh man, like when World made 3 D&B tracks, and so I was like, oh man, World needs to shift it up from the D&B. He's made 3 whole tracks after like 4 years of indie games.
It's okay, they were so far apart from each other, I couldn't even tell.
It's like, jeez, guys, like what? Who raised you? What happened, man?
I don't really like find a ton of similarities in artist music. There's another artist that eventually we'll get to talk about. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was in this album. Yeah, we will. Okay. There's another artist that I think a lot of their songs have sounded really similar lately in terms of like sound design. But
I might know who you're talking about. I have two guesses, but be interested to see if I'm right or not.
All right.
But I guess I actually never said it. I have Dynamo at number 4 on the album, and Dynamo. I know it's been so long since I actually uploaded the first part of my top 100 of all time, and I promise the second one's gonna come out. But like, I'm gonna actually finish that. I promise, with my fingers crossed. It's only been like a month and a half since the first one, but that one I think showed up on the first part. I absolutely I love this song. I adore this song. I give it a 9.5, 10.
All right. So that is Dynamo. Moving on to another track that was released about 6 months ago, and it feels like even longer. We got Alarm by Lucas and Cruella. I would say one of the biggest collabs that the label's ever had, as far as just like people who have attained mainstream success, but kind of got frosty reception from the fan base. Gabe, I'll let you take this one first.
Oh boy, starting too.
Oh
right.
shit. I can start this one off if you don't want to, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you started the last one.
I still need to prepare my thoughts about this one.
Alright,
So-
I'll go. Everyone, the general consensus, especially among people who don't like this, is, oh my god, this is the most generic song on the label. Fucking terrible. Like, you could probably make an argument that it is generic. I don't know, that's a word I'm not like throwing around very often, but I would say this one, I don't know, I'd say the biggest sin you could talk about is the lyrics maybe being a little cheesy, but like, you could say the same thing about like 90% of EDM, that the lyrics are cheesy. I don't think it's that much of a problem. I think they're fine. I think Cruella is fine. And I think the drop is, like, even though it repeats, I think 4 times throughout the songs, the third drop is like 2 measures of it. I think it's fine. I think it's catchy and it's like fast, which is like, slow future bass is usually what causes me pain and suffering, and this is like faster, so I'm fine with it. It's nothing super special, but it earns a place in my playlist. I like listening to it. I give it a 7 out of 10. Alright. Gid, I'll go to you next. You're our resident Cruella fan.
Oh, I like Cruella a lot, yeah. I feel like I'm the only one who actually listens to him, which is really weird, given how apparently popular they are. But I'm one of my people in my dorm hall this past year listened to Cruella too. But oh yeah, actually that is related to the song, because it was it was the song that he found Monstercat through, because he's a big Cruella fan. And he was like, oh man, Cruella released on this weird label, like, man, it's got lots of weird music on it, but I kind of like it. So that's how I found Monstercat, was through this song, which admittedly is nowhere, and it's okay. It's an okay song. Cruella does a good job, and I like him, as I usually do, but I don't know, the drop feels weird. It's just not really I don't really like it all that much. I think it sounds, like the low end just sounds really almost like unpolished, for lack of a better word, and it doesn't help that it kind of, I'm okay with repeating like drops in songs as long as I like them, but if I don't like them, I mean, I don't like them. I don't like it repeated either. Overall, it's an okay song. I give it a 5 out of 10, which is average.
Okay. Good.
Cruella's put out much better.
Alright, so see this EP that Alarm was on, which what was even the name of the EP?
It was the Lucid EP, right?
Okay. Because I always forget the name of it.
I
Because
think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure.
it's like it's a weird scale. Because there's a song that I have trashed on a lot, which is Eclipse, because I think it's really boring and unpolished. I guess I'm gonna steal that word from Gid. It just doesn't seem right. But anyway, this isn't about Eclipse. This is about Alarm, and I have a lot to say about Alarm because there's a thing that used to bug me for a long time about it, where people would compare it to Alone, and I don't know why.
What?
What?
You talk with weird people, dude.
No. But a lot of people were comparing it to Alone, and I guess it's probably because everyone was saying it was generic. I don't really get what's generic about it besides the lyrics. I think the lyrics are pretty basic, but basic doesn't mean bad, because I think they work really well with the song. I don't know. I really, really like this song. It's not... it has a couple flaws, because I think... I was going to say this as well. I can't hear the low end that well in the song. There's a lot of... I guess it's Lucas's thing, because a lot of his songs have this, but there's a lot of high end in his music. And
Yeah.
not a big fan of it, but I can get past it with Alarm. Alarm is just a good song. It was nice. And, yeah. I gave this a 7.5 out of 10.
Alright.
So
Where'd you put it? What place?
it is my number 16.
Oh, I put mine at... Where did I put this? 27. I put it 27.
I have it at 24, so...
Oh, yeah. This is my... Like, anything below this I don't really like. Like, this is the bottom song that I like. I like this.
So Alarm is your cutoff, okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. We'll get to my cutoff later in this episode, too. That's cool. And, Gabe, we will not be getting your cutoff until the very end, but, it's fine. Yeah.
I was confused. I understand now.
Yeah. We have, next up, we have, the other puppet song from the Life Overseas EP and the, EP, like, release day upload. We got Chin Up, which is Puppet and, with a vocal feature from Azurius Sky, who's, been a vocalist whose work I've enjoyed in the past. Gid, we'll get you to talk first on this one.
Oh yeah, this is my favorite track off that EP. And it's somewhere in the... ever since I put out my last top 100 for like the label, it was a little... I don't know. My opinions have changed quite a bit. So this would definitely be in my top 10 for the label. I like it lots. I find the main melody really catchy. I listen to it quite often because I think it's a very moving song, and it's emotionally uplifting. I think it's one of Puppet's best tracks, if not his best one. I really like it a lot. Azurius Sky does excellent, as she does every time she opens her mouth and sings. But I have this one at number 2 on the album. Actually, it's not my favorite, but it's real close. I don't want to quite give it a 10 out of 10, but I mean, if not, I'd give it like a 9.75, so I might as well round up and give it a 10. But I think it's a very emotional song. It's well produced. It's still got some cool guitar and drum beat influence, and cool vocals this time again. That's all I got.
All right.
I'll go with this one because this is gonna be quick. Because Gid basically said everything I was gonna say, besides the like top 10 favorite songs part, because it doesn't quite get up there for me. Um, although this would be like top 3 best vocal performances on the label. I'm a big fan of Azuria Sky because I think her vocals are just good in everything. Like, no matter what, she just makes an amazing vocal performance. Her performance in Alchemy and what's the Panda Eyes song called? Take My Hand.
Take My Hand.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one too. The Yeah Right song also.
The Yeah Right
too.
song too, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She's just an incredible vocalist. And the instrumental's amazing. And that's about it, because Gid basically took the words out of my mouth here.
Oh
so...
yeah, dude, this song is a banger. This song's great. The song is a squelcher, alright?
Yeah, the song straight up squelches.
It's a minger. I'm sorry, Gabe, and everyone.
Yeah, sorry to everyone watching the video.
Because that is funny to exactly me and John.
Yep.
What do you think of the song, John?
I hate to kind of rain on everyone's parade here because I get nothing out of this song. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely my least favorite out of the songs we're gonna be talking about today, and not because it's particularly bad, but like I said, it doesn't do anything for me. I've been clamoring for Puppet to do a song with a female vocalist since Answers. She hasn't done one on the label with a vocalist with any estrogen. So I was clamoring for it, and I saw Azuria Sky, and I was like, all right, this is probably gonna work out really well. But it doesn't do it for me. It's the one song on the EP, I guess, out of the 3 like main ones that is like kind of a departure back to his Fear's Fleeting sort of style of like indie dance, like synth poppy stuff. And I kind of wish he had, like, there's still some rock influence in this one, but I kind of wish there was more of it, because it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to me on the EP. I think Azuria Sky is fun, but it's definitely my least favorite time I've heard her voice. It's a 4 out of 10 for me, which is kind of like my like go-to score to give songs that I like acknowledge are good but just aren't really for me, and that's my biggest. No. I'm gonna have to cut that. Yeah, it just doesn't really do anything for me, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah. What's up?
One thing I wanted to add, because I didn't really justify it, like where I put it, or even say where I put it to begin with. I had this at number 23 with a 6.5 out of 10. I know I just talked about how I really like this song, but there's almost like a feeling that the vocal, like the actual lyrical content, doesn't really fit to me. It bugs me, because as of lately I've been getting, like, I've appreciated actual lyrical content more than just how the voice sounds. So that's why it ended up getting pulled down. If the lyrical content fit, it'd probably be somewhere like 7.58. So
okay, that should make for some interesting talk and discussion throughout this 4-parter, because there's a lot of songs and lyrics, some good, some not as good, but we'll get to those.
Oh yeah, that's true.
As you will see, I will contradict myself later.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to contradict myself multiple times too, but I'm ready for it. By the way, I had Chin Up at number 35. I forgot to say that.
Dang, your 35's a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
I generally have like a lower standard, whatever you would call it. Like, generally my songs at the bottom, like, because I do it on a scale, and even if I don't particularly like the song, it can still get points for like being interesting in some areas. So it's weird, but yeah, it's 4 out of 10.
35. My 35 is a 1 out of or 1.5 out of 10.
Ugh.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't have anything that even gets that low. So
Yeah, I don't have a 1.5.
yeah. All right.
But what do we got next?
Next up, we're going into 2018 with the first official Instinct release. We have "Ready to Fly" by Didrik and Adam Young of Owl City, and it's Didrik's act. He's done stuff with the label before. He did a remix with Fool. He did the 3-year and 5-year anniversary like mashups, I guess. But this is his first proper single, and it's with Owl fucking City. Like, okay,
I mean, hey.
It's a good way to start off the the Instinct side. And Gabe, you can start us off with this one.
I just want to say, I think Didrik's been getting a lot of recognition lately because, you know, he was a producer behind for one of the Eurovisions. I think it was Cyprus. He produced the song for Cyprus, who was a lot of people's vote for the winner.
Like the name of the country was Cyprus, or
yeah, Cyprus.
Okay, that's what I
it's
thought.
Eurovision, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
John, you should know this. Come on, man.
No, I didn't. Well, Cyprus is like a tree, like so maybe someone's name, like an artist's name, was Cyprus, but they were like Germany's pick, like entry or something. I don't know.
All right. You were supposed to be my geography, bro.
But
I mean,
this song, I guess, to be fully honest, the lyrical content sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it that much. I love the production. The production's so nice. It's so it's calm. It sounds like one of the like modern like future-based spin-in songs that I've been getting into lately, where it's nice, peaceful. Can't really go wrong with a chilled out song that isn't too chill but isn't too crazy. It's just the lyrical content is ass, and that kind of brought it down for me. I can respect it because I somewhat enjoy this song, but yeah, lyrical content isn't where I would hope. So I gave it a 3.5 out of 10. It's my number 28.
all right. I'll probably be the only one here that's gonna. I don't know exactly what Gid's opinion on it is, but I'll probably be the only one that's showering praise on this. The generic lyrics, yeah, they kind of suck. But when they're coming from the mouth of Adam Young, Mr. Owl City himself, I'm willing to look past it because I think his vocals are like good enough to the point where they sort of like transcend the lyrics. If the lyrics were better, the song would probably be a 10 out of 10. I'll just say that. But the drops are just like so nice and lush. They're not instrumental for super long, but like while they are, I like them a lot. I think the vocals are integrated really well in this song too. Like Didrik understands he has Owl City on a song, and he kind of let Adam Young roll with it for the most part. I think that was a wise decision because it makes the song a lot better than it otherwise would be. Because if Didrik got Adam Young on a song and would have underutilized him, that would have been like, alright, I'm never ranking any Didrik songs highly for the rest of my life. But I like this one a lot. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's not a perfect song, and I acknowledge that, but it's one that I really enjoy.
In my opinion, Didrik will never be able to beat his remix of War on Monstercat, at least, unless he releases some bonkers, like, weird thing that he's never created before.
Dang.
So unless he creates something that he has never created before. Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's why he will never beat it.
Okay. Alright. So he has to only create things that he has already
never created.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Okay, man. Ooh, this one. Okay, these vocals probably up there. I put it. I basically. Okay, so there's a song called "Distance" by Hyper Potions and Richard Craddock. Yeah, this song's basically just like a step down.
Oh my god, you're killing me.
If you take like 2,000 steps up, then we're talking Ready to Fly. And Ready to Fly isn't even that good.
Yeah, yeah.
Poor Dragon.
Oh my gosh. Vocals are like real bad. Like I remember when I listened to this song for the first time, I like paused it because I was actually embarrassed that I was listening to the song.
God.
I was like, what? This needs to stop going into my ears because this is embarrassing. It's also future based that's missing the bass, which is something that kind of is a little pet peeve of mine. It's not like it's not the worst thing I've ever heard, but it's like I think of it the same. I like listening to this song. In my mind, is in the same category as like listening to Captain Sparkle's Minecraft parody songs. Like that's like it feels the same as it feels the same to me. It's like I feel like this secretly should have been uploaded to Captain Sparkle's YouTube channel. Like that's legitimately how I think about the song, and I do not. I hate. I'm a little like I'm a little mad at myself that I think this way, but like I cannot. I feel. I can't bring myself to enjoy it whatsoever.
Instead of Ready to Fly, it's Ready to Mine.
Yeah, no, legit. Not even kidding. This one's my 40, by the way.
I figured.
I gave it a 2. I don't want to, like, bash on it, but it just feels a little
Corny.
immature. I guess in one word. That's all
right. Alright, that's Fragments Part 2. But,
oh man, Fragments, I went in on Fragments, man. It's too bad that never got uploaded.
Yeah. I think you'd have been sued by Drop Tech had that actually came out.
Oh my gosh, but man, I like Drop Tech.
Alright, well, from Future Bass to Future Bass, we got Fortress by Rogue.
Sounds like Monstercat in 2016. Or 2017, actually. That was when Future Bass started
2015.
kicking off. Oh, yeah.
This is the first solo Rogue song since Nemesis. Am I wrong?
Fury.
Oh.
You just got pranked.
Man. Top 50 most forgettable songs. Fury will probably be on there.
Legitimately forgot about it.
Yeah.
The only reason I remember that song is because I was playing Rocket League at a friend's house and that song came up.
We were, me and Kayla were like hanging out and listening to music. I think all me was on. We were talking about what our favorite songs on Rocket League were on that, like the volume 1. And she was like, "Oh yeah, Rocket, Fury," and then Fury came on like as she said it, and we were like, "Whoa!" And she was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Whoa!" And that's the most impressive story I've got.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a real mincemeat of a story, alright.
Oh man, yeah. So I'll start with Fortress. I think it's another really nice future-based song that was released on the volume 1 of Instinct. There's a lot of good future bass on here, and there's a lot of bad future bass on here. And this, luckily for me, was on the good side. It's weird because I think it's the only Rogue song I can think of that doesn't have that like classic Rogue melody. If you know what I'm like, it's the.
I think I kind of understand what you're talking about. Yeah, I think I kind of understand.
Almost kind of like screechy but bouncy, kind of. Like I'm thinking Nemesis right now, like that lead sound that he used.
I'm thinking like Nemesis, but like before the build up, like if you know that melody.
Oh, like the synthy, like super synthy.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Drive Away or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, Driveway's got it.
Man, that's a good song, too.
Atlantic's got it before the build-up. It's the
Mhm.
only good part of Atlantic.
Mhm.
But this song doesn't really have that, but it
Yeah,
has
right.
Rogue's vocals, which is like almost as good because Rogue's got a really nice voice if he uses it right, and he uses it right here. I think the drop, it gets a little repetitive, but it's one of the few good, in my opinion, examples of like hat spam done really well, because it like actually gives the song some momentum for the second half of the drop, and it makes it not just 4 measures of the same drop over and over. I think the intro is also really cool, like that. It's not low passed, but it kind of has that same like. It's very much on the low end, which is really, I don't know, I think it's really cool, and the song takes enough risks that it's interesting, but it dials it down enough to make it very accessible, and that's a really interesting and not always the case like middle ground that I like to see. I give it a 9 out of 10. It's not a perfect song either. I would say there's only 3 songs on this entire compilation that I would say are like even close to being perfect, but this is still really nice. It's my number 8. It's basically no doubt our top 10 as soon as it came out, and I'm glad that it stayed like that.
Yeah, I kind of thought about it the same way when it came out. Like when I've really liked this song pretty consistently from when it came out. It's been on my best of 2018 since it came out. It's been almost like 6 months now. But yeah, man, Rogue's vocals are just really good, and we haven't heard him since like Drive Away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and he does a really awesome job in that song. And he comes back in this one and does another really awesome job with the vocals. And the song really just does everything it really needs to. It's got just some nice melody going on. Build up. I really like the build up quite a bit, actually. And yeah, as John said, the intro is very excellent. I would just like to the section right after the refrain, like the drop, where I think if I remember correctly, that Rogue kind of lead synth actually does come in, for a little bit.
You're right.
Yeah, and he's like singing over it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Part straight slaps.
That part's a real slapper.
Oh yes,
It's a
absolutely.
headbanger right there.
This song is really good. I give it a 9 out of 10, and it's my number 6.
All right,
I feel bad now because I was about to say this song was good, and you guys both have it in like top 10. Well, let me tell you, the song has kind of like fallen off for me since it came out. So I really enjoyed it because when I first listened to it, it doesn't sound like Lighthouse, but to me it feels like what Lighthouse could have been, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Lighthouse was a monstrosity. This
God.
this is honestly it's a beautiful track. It's nice and lyrics are good. Everything's good. I wish the production was more like complex. I do like minimal stuff every now and then, but I feel like if it was a little more complex, maybe more like synth heavy in the drop, it would have been. I would have enjoyed it more. Like it would have held on longer. I still enjoy this track. It's not something I can listen to 24/7 like it was. Probably because I was so happy that it's Lighthouse but better. But besides the point. It's a good song. I have it at 22 with a 6.5 out of 10.
All right. So we all genuinely like this song. That's nice.
Well, that's the first. I agree with you guys.
Yeah, it's the first one that all 3 of us have been like, yeah, this song is good. So that's nice. I'm sure we're about to ruin that and probably piss some people off in the process. We got Ocean Eyes by Jay Cosmic. It's Synthesizer's #1. I know there's a lot of other. I feel like Voyager really likes it. I'm sure there's like a lot of people that are just in love with the song.
Pretty sure Sam Sadface likes it a lot.
He sent me his top 10. I know it wasn't his #1, but I think it was.
Yeah.
It was his #10. It's in there for him. He likes it a lot. Yeah. A lot of people like this one. It's very nostalgic for some people. Gabe, you can start with this one.
Oh, thank you. Well, at first I just couldn't get into this song, and then I listened to it more because when there's a song I don't like, I usually listen to it more because I want to see if maybe I'll like find something to like about it, and it turns out I found something to not like about it this time around. Those drums are not very well mixed, first of all. Which I know I shouldn't nitpick that, but it kinda hurts because it's like synthwavey / drum steppy. You kinda need those drums, you know? I think it's mainly the snare, because the snare sounds like muffled. But I don't know. Weird thing. And then just the lead, like the melody. The melody isn't bad, it's just the lead that's used. Sounds really... I don't know if it's trying to be synthwave or drum step with how the song is. I don't know. I just prefer Ascend type stuff from J Cosmic, and this isn't Ascend type. So it's a no from me, Captain. Gave this a 1 out of 10. It's my number 38. Not a fan, although I like it more than Lyra. So
alright.
I like everything on here more than Lyra, to be honest with you.
What do you wait? Oh, yeah, I remember you complaining about Lyra.
Yeah, he can blame
yes.
a little bit.
I think it was more than complaining, kid.
It was, yeah.
It was, losing my will to listen to...
Fuck. Alright, moving on to the next song. We definitely didn't have a power outage at my place that took 2.5 hours to resolve, and we definitely don't have 5 days in between the first half of this episode and this episode. But next up we have Ocean Eyes by J Cosmic, where we're probably going to piss some people off. Gabe, you can go first.
Oh, okay, let's just piss them off right off the get-go, alright.
If they hear you talk first, maybe they'll hate me less later. That's my strategy.
Yeah. I'm always the scapegoat. Like, if you ever need to hate on someone in the podcast, there's me, because I have all the unpopular opinions.
Oh, fuck, the Cubs suck. Let's blame Bartman. Ah! Figure you'd like that one, kid.
So, the thing with J Cosmic is that he's one of those artists that has been, like, in every possible path in existence in terms of music. Like, he's made so many different things. He's made big room, he's made dubstep, he's made like hardcore type stuff, he's made future bass, he's been all over the place. Some things stick better than others. Out of all the things that he's tried though, synth, wavy, drum steppy, whatever the fuck Ocean Eyes is easily his worst attempt. In my opinion.
Damn.
I think the lyrics are pretty meh. Lyrical content's not that great. And what's with the snare? I don't complain about snares too often, but what's going on with like how just muffled that snare is? But anyway, I'm not a big fan of this song. It just doesn't. It sounds all over the place. In my honest opinion, I think the tunnel was better than this song.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I gave this a 1 out of 10. It's my number 38. So
there's 2 songs worse than this.
Yep.
Whew. I already know what 2 songs.
Well, it's obvious what one of them is.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, for anyone who will only know you.
Anyone who knows this yellow frog.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Alright. So now it's my turn to get hated on. I don't think this song is anything special at all. Like, I guess I don't know if you're into this sort of sound. This like, it's in like the, I think the technical term is like post synth pop or whatever, but it's like that sound that Porter Robinson created with Worlds, and it's that same sound that like Decoy World and Who I Am. I'm trying to think of other songs like it. Those are like the main two on Monstercat plus this, and this shares a lot of problems that I have with Who I Am, where there's no power to it at all. Like it's like it gets to the drop and it just sort of happens, and it's like there's significant production issues in both songs in my opinion, but especially here there's just nothing tangible to get. The melody is like it's there, but if it was like a different genre it'd probably be a little bit better, or like a different style. But it's going for this like hard-hitting wave of emotion, and it doesn't do anything for me. I give it a 5 out of 10 because I like the vocals a lot more than you seem to, Gabe. The vocals or the lyrics are really cheesy, but the vocals themselves, they almost have this indie sort of feel to them, like they would be released on like a label much smaller than Monstercat, which is really cool. Jay Cosmic did the vocals himself, right? Do I have any confirmation on that?
I believe so.
Okay.
I like it when artists do that.
Yeah, I do too. I like Conroe and like Pluto and Soupy are like a couple of good examples for me. But like, I don't know. This one, it doesn't do anything for me. The vocals are cool. The drop betrays all that. I think it's a distinctly average song. That's my number 33.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was having a really So I looked at this. I was looking at my list here about 5 minutes ago. I was like, oh man, I got Ocean Eyes at 32. But I don't remember a single thing about it. So while Gabe was talking, I turned it on, started listening to it. I'm like, yo, this is actually pretty good. I mean, I don't like love it, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I remember to think it was ultra meh. But I pushed it up a little bit. It's at 26 now. I think it's a pretty good song that really lacks any extremely memorable elements. So it's good, and I would say I like it, but it has nothing. Like you said, it doesn't really have a punch to it. It doesn't really have anything that's like that, you know, if I'm walking throughout my day, I can kind of remember the song by. You know, like a lot of good songs with really good sound design have hooks, or like, you know, maybe a little melody that you can really remember, or a vocal walk down or something like that. But this doesn't really have much, in my opinion, or it doesn't have anything that hooked with me. And so I just kind of, but I do like it more than I remember just re-listening to it. So I scooched it up to the I like it category of at 26, and 5 out of 10 is what I give it.
You know, I went in ham on the song thinking you guys were also gonna like bash on it a little, and I feel attacked.
Well, here's my thing. I can't bash it because this song doesn't make me feel anything. It makes me feel nothing good or bad.
I don't think there's anything offensive in this song, personally.
Ocean Eyes isn't... Sorry, what? Yeah.
I don't think there's anything offensive, nor do I think there's anything like really amazing.
Yeah.
Fair.
I
think it's such a mediocre song.
I would say Ocean Eyes isn't good or bad. It is. So,
see, I expected something kind of like Ascend, and because I didn't understand the whole like how it was going to be on Instinct or Uncaged or all that yada yada yada. I was expecting something like Ascend, and then we got hit on Instinct, and I was like, "Whoa, this better be cool!" And then I was disappointed. I was disappointed. Made me sad.
Suppose I can understand disappointment based on what came out today.
Yeah.
But what is
disagree over here? But
what is the next one? All right. What is the next one? I really don't want to talk about the issue song.
Next up, we got "On My Own" by Lucas and Abel Hart. Yeah, we got some like weird R&B trap stuff. I guess I'll lead this one off because this personally, besides my top 2 songs, both Conroe songs, this was the most surprising. This was the most surprised I was by any releases on the entire album, because Alarm I like a lot, but it's kind of in that guilty pleasure territory for me. Like, I understand it's not the most crazy good song ever. Eclipse is not very good in my opinion, and some of the stuff I've heard off of the label by Lucas is also not for my style. But this is good because it doesn't have much Lucas, or at least like the parts of it that I enjoy don't have much Lucas, and that would be the vocals by Abel Hart. I think they're very, very, I don't want to say soulful, but like they have this crooning element to it that I like a lot. And I don't know, it just feels raw. It doesn't feel like anything that you hear in EDM, and that's, I don't know, I can appreciate that. And then the quote-unquote drop, some people are put off by the vocal chops, but I think they're fun. I think everything else is cool. That weird, some of the weird sound effects that happen, I don't know if they fit, but I'll let it slide. And I don't know, the production doesn't feel crisp, which is almost good. Like some of the hits are just like they're almost jarring, but I think it almost works. The dichotomy between the vocals and the drop, I think, almost work. So basically, the way I can describe my feelings on the song is that it shouldn't work and I shouldn't like it, but I do. It's a 9 out of 10, and it's my number 10 on the album.
Yeah, I would say my expectations for this song were definitely subverted, because all the other Lucas songs I'd heard were like, okay at best. But this one was pretty cool. It definitely has a lot of art. Like, it really, in my opinion, it basically just is an R&B song.
Yeah, that's fair.
Generally, I'm pretty decent fan of. And man, I actually kind of like those cash register sound effects that are going all throughout the song. It sounds like we're, buying a bunch of candy back in the 50s, basically. But yeah, Abel Hart does a real nice job. It's got a nice little boppy beat to it. It's just kind of I'm always a big fan of seeing influences from non-electronic music in electronic music, because that's the only way you're gonna get these the Monstercat fan base, which is legendarily close-minded, I would say, in some aspects.
Picky.
I would say in a lot of aspects, yeah.
To really open things up, I mean, now the more we get R&B, the more people we get thinking they know that what R&B is, and so we get people just labeling everything that's not straight EDM R&B. And then we get things like the Monstercat.
Yeah.
Then we get people saying that Stay by Stevens R&B, and I'm like, okay, I guess you're 10 and have never heard a song before. But that's a little bit of a rabbit trail. But this is a real nice song, real solid. It's my number 14, and it's either a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Well,
Gabe, your turn.
I'm glad that I agree with all you guys.
Yeah.
Once. On My Own is an interesting song, because on the first couple of listens I really didn't like this song. I guess it was mainly because of the drop, because the drop felt really out of place. But after I went through like this little phase of time where my music taste changed and I started liking songs that I didn't even think I would like, and songs I used to hate became favorites, and stuff like that happened, and this song kind of just like came back, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's like if you took Eclipse and Alarm and you just like mishmashed them together in a really weird way. Because you've got like the melodic aspects, but then you also have like somewhat heavier like trap-esque aspects from Eclipse, and I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I really like this song, is what I'm trying to say. It's my number 3, and
God.
10 out of 10.
Welcome back to this. That white noise you heard was because my audio loopback situation got messed up. The free app I used was not so free, and it was more of a trial. But I figured out how to do it naturally on the Mac. So I did an audio test. I figured it all out. We're fine. So ignore that, and let's move on to the 8th song on the podcast. We got No Taker with Too Smooth, with featuring Gray Matter. Gid, you can start us off on this one.
Oh, okay. I generally like No Taker. He's a little bit of about the closest thing there ever will be to a Mousetrap meeting Monstercat.
I would say it's maybe Zach Waters too, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that. But he went in a little bit of a different direction this time, with a little bit more of a bouncy, pop feel. I don't know. I think the sounds that he uses, that No Taker uses, I just personally didn't think they meshed well with this new style. Like he's still kind of using the same sort of sounds that he uses for his his long sort of either like prog house or his like synth wave or whatever the heck, like whatever Shimmer was. And I just didn't think it really meshed well with the new style. And I also did not like Gray Matter at all. His vocals they leave something to be desired, to say the least. And I felt, lyrical content is rather weak, but that can be overcome by a strong vocal performance, but I just didn't think it was particularly strong.
Right.
Overall, it didn't really hit the spots I wanted it to, so it fell a little flat for me. It's my number 33, and I give it a 3.5.
Okay. I like it a little bit more than you because I wouldn't say I'm in love with the vocals at all. Like, I wouldn't say they're like Aloma Steel on anything level good. But I think the hook is pretty catchy, and I also don't mind the production at all. And it's not obviously anything close to No Taker's best, but I think it's almost charming in a way. His like retro style production with the more like disco style like feel that I guess it's going for. But you're right, they don't really match up with the vocals very much, and that's a little bit of a problem. I also I feel like the lyrics can be read a couple of different ways, and the way I read it is that like bullshit, like that guy is just a jerk, and you should come with a nice guy like me, and I'll make you happy. Basically, yeah, you know the type. That's kind of my read on this, and it's like comes off as really like pandering, because I feel like there's a lot of overlap between that community and the EDM community, and that's not something I'm a very big fan of. But
I think it's really just.
I think it's.
I guess you could say online, the people whose primary form of interaction is online, that camp.
Yeah. People who like.
Who are like us, kind of end up.
Yeah, like people that'll be in the mall and like see a girl and a guy's like making fun of the girl, and she like playfully shoves him, and he's like, "Oh, you're such a jerk," and the guy comes in like, "I'll treat you nicely. Get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That one like neckbeard meme.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like exactly the type I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's what they were going for, but that's my read on it. And it, like, I don't really like listening to the verses because of that. But I think the chorus is kind of catchy. Overall, this is a very problematic song for me, but it's catchy and I don't mind listening to it. So I give it a 6 out of 10. And it's my number 30. And I would say it's the cutoff for songs I would say I enjoy. So it's shoot. What was your cutoff? Wasn't your cutoff oh shit? I don't remember what your cutoff was. I think we hit it at some point.
Mine was Alarm.
Yeah, yours was Alarm. So yeah, this is my version of your Alarm. It's my cutoff as to what I find good and what I have problems, significant problems with. Gabe, what's your opinion on this one?
Alright, well, I gotta agree with the lyrical content part, because it's kind of lacking in that department, but I personally thought the vocal performance was good. The production side of things is not very note-taker-like, and I kind of like that, because I was getting a little tired of note-taker style a little bit, kind of wanted something different, and this delivered. And yeah, I enjoy the song a lot. There's not really too much to say about it, because I think it's a pretty... not super experimental. It's pretty nice. Just a nice song, you know. It's my number 15, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. So
okay. So we're kind of all over the board on that one, but
yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I think it's fine. Right.
Yeah, I think for Instinct in general, the song, there aren't that many songs. There's 2 songs, maybe 3 songs that I legitimately really don't like. It's either just there's a big chunk that's kind of forgettable for me, and then there's above that there's actually really good songs, and this kind of just falls in the forgettable clump.
Right. But nothing like the new Bishu song today.
Yeah, no, that makes me upset.
Oh, come on.
For what it's worth, Gabe, I like it too. So I'm with you on that one. All right, I wouldn't say opinion. I like it, but I think it's not bad. It's gonna be above half of UV4.
It's let's oh, jeez. If I had to make, I really don't like it. I was gonna say if I had to make a 10 songs that I've heard and just hate the most out of every song I've ever heard, the Ritual would make it, but if I'm honest, it probably wouldn't. It'd be in the running to make that list. I strongly dislike and I almost despise it.
Golly. Alright, we'll make sure not to have you on the Uncaged Volume 5 podcast then.
I probably wouldn't have heard half the songs anyway.
Facts. Alright, we'll move on to the 9th song then. We got Matt Van and Direct with I Don't Mind. It wouldn't have been... There's a couple artists that, an Instinct album, the opening Instinct album wouldn't have been the same without. I think Puppet would be on that list. Tristan would be on that list. Conroe. Either Luther or Summer was fun, one of the two, I would say. And I would say Direct is also on that list. I'm very happy that Direct had something on here. We'll start with you, Gabe, on this one.
Gabe. Okay, so based on my opinions on most of Direct's stuff in the past, I expected to like this a lot more than I actually did, but something about it just seemed a little different compared to what Direct's done in the past, and it's alright because the vocals are amazing. That's what carries the song as high as it is. The production of things, I'm just not too big of a fan of here. But there's not really much else I can say about this song, because honestly, I forget about this song a lot. So, if that says anything, then yeah. This is actually my number 17, mainly because of the vocals, which is one of the best vocal performances on the label. So as of lately, we've been getting really good vocal performances, at least in my opinion. So, yeah.
Bigger market, better singers.
Yep.
Yeah. And I give this a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. I'll piggyback off you because I've almost the exact same opinion. Matt Van is gonna absolutely fucking slay anything that he's in, and this is no different. I don't like it as much as I like his voice in Tomorrow. And what was the song? Was he on one or two songs on the Lost album?
He was on 2.
Oh, whatever the first one on the album was, he was really good on that one too. I don't remember. I've only listened to that album once because it's not like my favorite. But Matt Van kind of has like not really a problem, but he's in a lot of songs that otherwise would be very forgettable for me. So there hasn't been that one song that's like, oh shit, this song is a 10 out of 10 without Matt Van. With Matt Van, it's like perfect. But like, he single-handedly like saves this from being just another direct song. So I guess in that way, I almost have the opposite opinion of you. With the production, it kind of just sounds like another direct song, like his like more like Tranquility Lark kind of stuff, not his like very garagey like the EP that he released recently, or like some of the stuff on the Trusted Me EP, which I think I prefer that style instead of this like piano driven like chill stuff. But Matt Van single-handedly saves this from being an absolutely forgettable song. I give it a 7 out of 10, and it is number 23. So I think it's pretty solid, but far from Direct's best stuff. Gid, you ready?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah. Oh, John. I don't remember if Gabe was there. Like John, at least I remember in the Lost episode 10.
Yeah.
Podcast, where whatever album we talked about, Too Far Away was on there.
Yes.
By Direct.
Yes.
I remember I really ripped into Direct.
Yep.
I can hear the anticipation in John's voice because he thinks I might do it again.
No, never. I would never anticipate that.
And I guess mainly my point was that Direct's been releasing the same song with a couple chord changes for like 3 years. And this is really no different. I still think it's basically just the same song. I think I've heard this song like 10 times from him now. Basically, like, he has that one song back in like 2012, 2013 that was like oddly heavy, but like pretty much like every other song I've ever heard from Direct is basically this. But all that, occasionally, even though most of his songs sound the same, I think, occasionally just sometimes the piano lead will be really nice, sometimes there'll be some vocal backing that's really nice, and I'll like it, even so. That's what happened with Lark. Like with Lark, I know it sounds like a ton of other Direct songs, but I really like the piano, like the little piano lead, and just like, you know, kind of the way the song flows. And so I really like Lark, you know, despite not liking most Direct work. And this is a very similar case. I really like the piano lead, the specific chord progression it goes through, and I think Matt Van does a really nice job. So despite me, you know, not liking the fact that I feel like I've heard this song 12 times before, I still really enjoy it. And the fact that I actually listened to this song, I put it on like one of my main like kind of chill feels playlists. So I actually listened to it, and I still like it. It's my number 13, and I give it an 8 out of 10. I don't have much, like, can't really dig into it on the production. Like, I don't know, been done so much before, but I thought he actually did well this time for really weak reasons, but I just like it.
We don't always have to have a reason for liking what we like. Like, it's just nice, you know. We all love those songs.
Mm.
Hell, I literally just
Yeet.
said that with Too Smooth, so I can't say anything.
Mm.
Literally, it's like, here's all the reasons why I shouldn't like it, but it's nice, you know. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, now it's
Hit some-
time. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, hit some good emotional notes.
Okay. Yeah, it's time to move on to, we're gonna end this bad boy with a real bang. We got My Cloud by Grabbits. I want to start this one out because I want to give this song some credit because I know it's going to be ripped away pretty soon. I think this is my favorite Grabbit song probably since his Better With Time EP. I think this is better than anything that was on the Things Change LP. And I think it's better than on both the songs he released on Monstercat after that, Contemplate and Told You So. I think the only thing that's been released since then that's even close would be In the Winter, but that was like kind of a weird self-release situation. So this song is a lot different because this song has Grabbits rapping, which I think is really cool, and it's got like this weird filter on his voice that like almost makes him sound like he's trying to be like an 80s like Beastie Boys song or something, or like Run DMC or some shit. But,
oh man,
but
Grabbits compared to the Beastie Boys, that's a big think.
It's a weird comparison. I don't know.
It's so weird. Dude, man. Oh man,
For what it's worth, I really like the Beastie
I was really
Boys.
feeling the New World song because it reminded me of Blink 182.
God damn it, you derailed my point. But my point was that this is totally different than anything Grabbits has done vocal wise, and so for that reason, I really enjoy every like segment of the quote unquote off drop. At the risk of me getting killed, I'll say the word. And then once it gets into that drop, it's got Grabbits has a couple of songs where he does this very like stop-starty, like it's not quite feature-based, but it ends up sounding a lot like a lot of feature-based songs. He does it in Float Away, and he does it in a song on the Things Change LP, Love Like That. And those are two of my favorite songs from him for that very reason, because it just like, I don't know, it pleases the ears, I guess. And so you combine that with the weird rapping style. Some of the lyrics aren't great, but with brag rapping, that kind of stuff, I can like handle that. If you combine those, it's my favorite Grabbits song. It's my favorite Grabbits single song, in quite a long time. Actually, it might be my favorite Grabbits single, like ever.
Dang, boy.
Yeah,
Why
I
would
like
you
some
say
of his.
such a thing?
I like some of his performances more. Like on Let Go, he's like by Dead Mouse. I think he's fantastic, or like stuff like that. And like I would say I still definitely like Float Away more. But this is a really cool song. I have it at number 12, and it's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's a very good song in my opinion. It's my favorite Grabbits in a while. Good.
You're ending it on one hell of a note.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Grabbits is a bit of a hit or miss artist for me. Like he has put out some really, really good songs, but also some songs that I really don't like. Like when I see that there's a new Grabbits song coming out, I legitimately am not sure whether I'm gonna like adore the song or very much dislike the song. Unfortunately, this falls into the latter camp a little bit. I don't hate this song. It simply comes down to the fact that I don't really like anything in it.
Mm-hmm.
The vocals, some people have pointed out that it sounds like he's talking, but I don't think that's quite it. I think really it's just like an odd deadpan performance. I love deadpan in my comedy, but not in my vocal performances. Let me just say. And I think
So you
the
don't like
production-
Cake then?
the production on the drop. I don't. Are we talking about the Florida song?
No, I'm talking about the band, the '90s band. Like
I haven't really listened to it very much. I actually don't think I've heard a single Cake song.
You haven't heard like The Distance or Short Skirt Long Jacket? That surprises me.
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to send you some links afterwards.
Oh boy, yeah. Based on what I'm talking about, I'm sure I'll like them. And personally, I find that the drop is just a little bit of a downgraded Float Away. It's like Float Away without the, like basically if you took the lead off of Float Away and had like just the kind of the drums and like the weird little like whatever the sound is that he's using this one. Not on my game today for descriptions. But personally, I just thought this one was a little bit more of a miss. I don't hate it, but I really don't like it at all either. And Follow Me still remains probably my favorite Grab It song.
Okay.
And man, that is an underrated song. Just wanted to plug Follow Me at the end because that's a really nice song. But overall, My Cloud is my 37.
Okay. Gabe?
Well, okay, you're gonna have to give me a second. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, I had to let my emotions out before I talk about this song.
Damn.
So, as I probably mentioned before, Rabbits only has one good song, and it's his remix of Build the Cities. I respect his production, big respect, but none of it suits my taste at all. I was excited with My Cloud because it's like, oh my god, it's dubstep, and that's something.
Who told you it was dubstep?
Whatever it is, okay, that's what I thought it was.
Oh shit! Okay, I'm sorry. Wow.
Now
it sounds super elitist. Okay, sorry about that.
That was funny.
Alright, I'm sorry. Go on.
That's the biggest roast John's given out in a long time.
That's probably not true. Hopefully it's true. Alright, sorry, go on.
I go into this song thinking it's like it's something like Follow Me or something, where it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be something like that, and I go into it and I hear that like rap, and I'm just like, why does this exist? I don't need this. And that's the story of why it's my number 39 with a 1 out of 10.
All right.
It's I don't think there's a Grab It song worse than this. I think this is genuinely my least favorite Grab It song, which says a lot. Because
Facts.
out of however many songs he has, I dislike all of them except one. This gets the cake for my least favorite.
Probably a pretty shitty cake, huh?
And yeah, I'm sad that this exists.
Oh.
It's okay though.
I was getting really, juiced up about Gabe's rant.
Yeah, I was really let down by that. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
know.
Yeah.
I really wanted
Sorry,
Gabe,
you gave multiple choke noises before talking at different points.
I was me letting out my emotions, so
I was getting
scream about the song.
Oh man, we were really gassing it up, and then it just kind of.
Yeah. I think I might need to start paying you less.
Yeah, I mean the thing that stole the show was John's roast.
my 13 cents is perfect where it is, man.
Yeah.
I get paid to your clothes.
I hear. All right, BRB.
I didn't even hear what you said.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
No.
I was, no, just.
Question: would I still be friends with
X.
you after I heard what you said?
Oh yes, it was just a really like almost a. It was like just a dad joke.
Oh, okay.
What could I have said at that circumstance that would end our friendship?
I don't know. I'm
That's
sure there's something you could have said.
Timberwolf is bad. There you go. There's one.
My soul.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, there's episode 15. See y'all next week. And outro.